I'm addicted and expensive. Byron Wilcott. And I'm watching WGS-TV.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm Double B Millie Bujo, and this is going to be my Monday Night Raw review for the week of November 12th, 2012. First off, I'd like to apologize to everyone for posting this up so late. Some personal things kept coming up and everything like that, but again, I apologize, but here we go, the Raw review, and we'll start off with the Go Home show for Survivor Series as we get set for the big Team Orton versus Team Ziggler. You know, still up in the air on who's going to be the fifth man. Or I need to reiterate, you know, I'm going to say Team Orton because Randy Orton's the team captain. It's Team Foley. Excuse me. I don't know why WWE is keeping Team Foley and Mick Foley part of it when, you know, originally the plot line was for to be against CM Punk. So I really don't understand, you know, the whole reasoning for keeping Foley on. But anyway, we open up the show with the team captains going at each other, Randy Orton and Dolph Ziggler, and man, you want to talk about a great way to open up Monday Night Raw. And you know, two guys who had a fantastic feud, put on wonderful matches, and that's Randy Orton and Dolph Ziggler, and that is an amazing way to open up the show. In this match, however, you know, it was only about 9 minutes long, but I think the main purpose was, you know, to put more build into the the Survivor Series tag team match, because we had Alberto Del Rio come out and run interference. You know, Randy Orton still got the win, but after the match was over, Ricardo Rodriguez jumps on Orton's back, and then Del Rio gets in, and they start beating down and becoming 2-on-1 affair between, you know, with Ziggler, Del Rio beating down Randy Orton. Kofi Kingston comes in and makes the same, and then we get it turned into a tag team match courtesy of SmackDown consultant or head advisor Teddy Long. I don't know how to, yeah, you know, he's a consultant for Booker T, and he said, on behalf of Booker T, I'm going to make this match. And, you know, that's one way to make it better. You know, Randy Orton and Dolph Ziggler was one way to make it good, which was a 4 out of 5 for me. But you add the elements of Roberto Del Rio and Kofi Kingston into it. Perfect way to build into the Survivor Series tag team match. But there's going to be some more stuff that happens on later in the night, but I will get to it when I talk about it. This match, however, great match. You know, I thought it was fantastic, the tag match. Del Rio gets the win. The finish came with Del Rio hits the running enziguri on Kofi Kingston and gets the 3 count. Great tag match. I thought it was wonderful. 4 out of 5. Again, very nice build into the Survivor Series tag match with Team Orton, Team Foley versus Team Ziggler. However, after that great opening, we get Vicky Guerrero, Dolph Ziggler in the ring. More stuff with the AJ Lee John Cena scandal, and guys, this just screams the AJ Styles Dixie Carter storyline from TNA. Oh, it even went to the point where they were doing the voicemails, kind of like what happened with AJ Styles and Dixie Carter. And I don't know why WWE is replicating this kind of a storyline. I don't know why they're implementing this, you know, the same elements as they happened with TNA with Styles and Dixie Carter. I just don't know the reasoning behind this. Maybe they'll have a different ending to it. I don't know. It just boggles my mind that WWE is even trying this. Dolph Ziggler was getting in AJ's face. John Cena comes out all seriousness. AJ says, no, stop, I'll handle this. Slaps the taste out of Dolph Ziggler's mouth, and John Cena proceeds to finish that with a punch. Backstage, Cena said, you know, I don't know why they're putting so much emphasis on something that would never ever happen, and AJ looked at him with a smile and saying, are you sure never? And, you know, my thinking is, that's a come on. I think AJ was coming on to John Cena. Why couldn't she do that to me? 3 out of 5. for that whole segment because, again, I'm just scratching my head as to why they're even attempting this. To kind of continue the build with Big Show and Sheamus and the whole situation that happened in the pub over in England last week, in Birmingham, I believe they said it took place. They had Big Show taking on William Regal. Found out something astonishing about Regal. Been in the business for 29 years, and the guy still looks in phenomenal shape. You know, it's good to see him being used on TV properly. You know, but Big Show gets the win with the chokeslam on William Regal. I wish WWE would put NXT back on the air because I've seen a few episodes online of the new format of NXT, and it's a lot better. A lot better. Trust me, a lot better than what it used to be. Regal's one of the commentators on there, and he does a really good job of it. I must say, William Regal is a really, really good commentator. So, Josh Matthews, you might be waving bye-bye soon. Well, maybe not Josh Matthews. But anyway, 3 out of 5 on the Big Show William Regal thing. Because, again, it was kind of predictable. Big Show's going to get the win. But then, after the match was over, he was loading up the knockout punch. Sheamus comes out and starts to beat down the Big Show. Big Show turns tail and runs. And again, okay build for their match into the Survivor Series. We had to determine a new #1 contender for the Divas title. It was Caitlyn and Layla, and the major drawback to this match, it was about a minute and a half long. Somewhere about a minute and a half, 2 minutes long. However, the upside to this, other than the fact there were two smoking hot, gorgeous divas, is the fact that they actually, for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, put on a really good wrestling match. And I'm shocked as hell. I mean, Caitlyn's getting better, Layla, always hot to see, and I was actually impressed. Now, if the matchup would have gone a little bit longer, I thought it would have made it a little bit better. But I'm gonna, just because they impressed me, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. Equal the hotness, the talent, and again, the drawback being the length of the match. We had finally, after 9 weeks, the return of Jerry the King Lawler. Looked great. I thought it was so good to see him back. Despite the fact that near fatal heart attack, and he was doing his welcome back speech, and then we get interrupted by CM Punk. And I know a lot of people out there were thinking, the dude's just had a heart attack. Why you're having CM Punk out there? And the major reason for that is to put more heat on Punk as a heel. Now, he did some very comedic stuff. Paul Heyman was pretending to have his heart attack, and, CM Punk was getting worried. He was throwing out the X symbol. He said he needed help. I thought it was hilarious. Then Mick Foley comes out and interrupts CM Punk. And then we get the announcement that not only is CM Punk facing John Cena later tonight, but Mick Foley will be the special guest enforcer. And Foley did not take too kindly to Punk's remarks about Jerry the King Lawler's heart attack. And Lawler even said it on the microphone that the only thing that's on life support coming this Sunday is CM Punk's title reign. 4 out of 5 on the return of Jerry the King Lawler and the whole thing that happened with Punk, Paul Heyman, and Mick Foley. Now, it's not very often WWE puts on a very decent 8-man tag match. I do remember WrestleMania 2 ago when they had a big 8-man tag match that was just an utter catastrophe. There were so many better matches they could have put on at WrestleMania, but they put on an 8. I don't remember the exact details of the 8-man tag, but I do remember that the match was just utterly horrible. I mean, it was just a disaster. However, this 8-man tag that happened on Monday Night Raw was a different story. We had Rey Mysterio, Sin Cara, Tyson Kidd, and Justin Gabriel taking on the primetime players, Primo and Epico. And key thing to note about this match, too, is Ricardo Rodriguez came out and delivered a message to Rosa Mendez for Alberto Del Rio. So, that is just leading me to believe that Rosa Mendez will be dropping Primo and Epico, and they'll be putting her with Alberto Del Rio. Possibly a good move. I mean, she is smoking hot. But as far as this match goes, I thought, again, very entertaining. A lot of great stuff. Finish came, Rey Mysterio hits the 619 and then tags Justin Gabriel. Justin Gabriel goes for his beautiful finisher, the 450 splash, hits that, and they get the win. And again, great match, great 8-man tag, and again, always a plus to see Rosa Mendez out there. 4 out of 5 on that one. We had R-Truth taking on Tensai with Antonio Cesaro on commentary. I guess to kind of build for a United States title match that's going to be happening at Survivor Series between R-Truth and himself. And R-Truth and Tensai, you can tell again just how lowly that gimmick is. I mean, they had him job to R-Truth. Well, not job in a sense, but still, you kind of get it what I'm saying. The matchup was good. R-Truth gets the win with the lie detector. And then we had a promo about the United States title with R-Truth. He said, knock knock, who's there? European, you're in my face. And he said, this Sunday you're going to get God. I'm going to get to become a 2-time United States champion. And that's the truth. Something I also noticed there, that he wasn't wearing his little Jimmy gear. He was wearing his What's Up gear. I don't know if that's a sign or not. They're dropping the little Jimmy gimmick. I don't know if that would be an improvement or a detriment to R-Truth's character. But maybe I'm making a mountain out of a molehill here, guys. It's just something I thought I would bring up. 3.5 out of 5 on R-Truth and Tensai because I was just to that. But hopefully they'll have a good United States title match coming up at Survivor Series this Sunday. We had next up the big $1 million contract match between Brad Maddox and Ryback, and throughout the night, Maddox kind of had a meeting of sorts with Paul Heyman. We don't know the essentials, of what happened in that meeting. But next, we have the big $1 million contract match, Ryback and Maddox, and I know I said in my preview video back on Monday, that I didn't see a clean finish for this match. I was figuring, run in, but that didn't happen. We actually did have a clean finish. I mean, Ryback just annihilated Maddox in this match and just got the win. He, hits the shell shock. Maddox waves bye-bye to his contract. But Mr. Ryback wasn't finished because, a couple of things to note here, guys. They actually had an ambulance come out during Maddox's entrance, and then when Maddox was in the ring before the match started, they actually brought out a gurney for Maddox, and, it was kind of a telltale sign that Mr. Maddox was about to become part of the pavement, and, well, in a sense he did, and Ryback just channeled his best version of Mike Awesome. I wonder how many of you guys will remember that one from not ECW Mike Awesome, but WCW Mike Awesome before he became that 70s guy. What gimmick did he have? He was the ambulance guy. Every match he would put you in the ambulance. Ryback, we just channeled a little bit of that and threw Maddox into the ambulance, and the ambulance took off with Mr. Maddox inside of it. 4 out of 5 on that one because I thought it was entertaining. And again, Jerry the King Lawler has been on commentary. Jim Ross, I guess, is just done now. I don't know. I wanted to see that 3-man team again. Lawler, Ross, and Michael Cole. Pardon me. Next up, we had Sheamus and David Otunga. I don't know why. But after the match was over, Sheamus cut a promo saying that, he's going to take this brogue and kick Big Show and take back his World Heavyweight title. Next, the Titantron comes on, Big Show is beating up William Regal again and says, no, this is what's going to happen at Survivor Series, and knocks out William Regal. I guess maybe that was like one of the final builds for Sheamus and Big Show for the World Heavyweight title match. I don't know if we'll see any builds this Friday, but it's possible. 4 out of 5 on that one. Next up, we needed to find out who the 5th person was for Team Foley, and apparently it was a Raw active vote. And earlier in the night, they had a promo between Miz and Dolph Ziggler. I'm sorry, I'm clearing my throat so much. And apparently, Dolph Ziggler took offense to Miz quitting, saying that, he's not a team player. Miz, basically, it was a face, it looked like the beginning of a face turn. Miz, asking Foley, to put him on the ballot. He wanted to make his team awesome. And the three people who were on the ballot were The Miz, Santino Marella, and Zack Ryder. 2 mid-carders against a former main eventer. And they even did a promo to heavily favor the vote for The Miz. And that's the way it turned out. The Miz is now the 5th member of Team Foley. And in this matchup that was set up earlier, Foley agreed to it. Team Rhodes Scholars versus Kane, and the person who would be the newest member of the team, voted by the fans, The Miz. Daniel Bryan took some offense to it. Didn't want the match to happen, and he kept saying no, no, no. And the finish of the match came when Daniel Bryan was trying to attack The Miz on the outside. Miz turned it around, threw Bryan into Cody Rhodes. He then gets thrown into the ring and meets a choke slam from Kane, and they get the win. And this just starts the I'm the tag team champions. It's a whole confusing thing. I don't know where they're going to be going with this from here. I don't know how they're going to be using it at Survivor Series. But Kane and The Miz are the winners. 4 out of 5 on this one. I thought it was a very entertaining match. Main event time saw John Cena taking on CM Punk with Mick Foley as the special enforcer for the match. I thought it was a great match, and we needed to see some sort of a build for the WWE Triple Threat match. And not only did we see it with this match, but at the conclusion of the match, Punk was trying to run away. He gets cut off by Ryback, who then catches. Then Cena catches him, gives him the attitude adjustment, and gets the 3 count. And then Ryback gets in the ring, starts to stare down Cena. Then they both look down and see the WWE Championship. They both pick it up and begin a tug of war. Punk gets on the ring apron saying, that's my belt, that's my belt. And the show ends. That's how you build into your triple threat match. You get your 3 main guys in there, and you finish the show on a very high note, and that's exactly what WWE did on Monday Night Raw. 5 out of 5 on the Cena CM Punk match. I thought it was that good. Overall score on the go-home show to Survivor Series for Monday Night Raw is going to get a 4 out of 5. Again, great opening with Orton and Ziggler. And the fact they turned it into a tag match with Del Rio, Ziggler taking on defeating Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston. Again, great way to build into your traditional Survivor Series match. Again, the Vicky Guerrero bringing up this segment, with AJ Lee and John Cena scandal, just reeks of Styles and Dixie Carter from TNA. Big Show William Regal was okay. Again, they were using it as a build for Big Show and Sheamus. Caitlyn and Layla for a 1.5 2-minute match was a really good Divas match. I am so glad that Jerry the King Lawler is back. He did not miss a beat on commentary. He was great. And I thought it was great usage of CM Punk to have him come out there and gain more heel heat. And then we find out the final setup for the main event with Cena and Punk, with Mick Foley being the special enforcer. Again, great 8-man tag. I thought it was wonderful to see that. R-Truth and Tensai. Again, the build was for R-Truth and Antonio Cesaro. Cesaro was on commentary. And, Ryback squashed Brad Maddox. That's all I can say about that. Sheamus and David Otunga was okay, but then we get the realization that after the match, it was a build for, again, Sheamus and Big Show, with Big Show beating up William Regal backstage. Miz is the newest member of Team Foley, and he and Kane got the win on Team Road Scholars. I thought it was great, very entertaining. And then the main event with Cena and CM Punk, I thought it was fantastic and a great build for the triple threat match for the WWE title coming up at Survivor Series. So what I want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. Be sure you put your comments in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. And please don't forget to subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So with that being said, I'm WWE Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.
Hi, I'm Chris Master 1, and you've been watching WGS-TV on YouTube. Be sure and check out the Friday Night Renegade show every Friday from 10 to midnight Eastern, only on GCSUradio.com. And remember, keep it on rocking, folks. Oh, check out my YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/ChrisMaster1. We'll see you on the next episode of WGS-TV.